Hello guys and girls, welcome to the Alpha Premiere. It's been a long while since I've uploaded a video. So today we're gonna talk about the teaser for Mermaid. So let's watch this teaser and let's judge for ourselves whether this is good or bad. I'll play the teaser right here, okay? I'll play it right here and we'll judge it together. So as you can see, we'll start off the trailer right here. This is, by the way, the new trailer that's coming, the movie that's coming in 2023, okay? On areas of Disney.
Out of the sea, wish I could be
Okay.
part of
This is the
that
part where people are talking about that her voice doesn't match and they have race swapped it. So basically, the original Ariel, that's the main character of this movie, is a white woman, and certainly they have made it like to do more diversity and more representation in the society and in fairy tales. So instead of recreating the old version, like the old version looks like this, some of this is the actual version of the Little Mermaid. As you can see,
I don't know
Ariel
how.
is white and has, or is yellow, I guess, but she has red hair and she is definitely not a black woman. But people have pointed out this is just a cash grab to and promote in the name of diversity. This is just a cash grab, and I have a very interesting video which will I play after this. It will show the review that's done by Quantum TV, and his point was actually good actually. So I'll play that video right here in front of you, and you can decide for yourself if you agree with him or not.
1.1 million people told you that this Little Mermaid that you're trying to push ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, guys, you saw that right. I finally agreed to something that Quantum TV says. Okay, although his all of his points were not to the mark, I agree with a lot of his points. And as you move further down the video and the points that I picked up, he was quite right most of the time. So let's bear with him and let's see more of this, what he's going to say about this movie.
Simply put, that racist stunt is uninstalling one person's race because you feel like they're represented too much. And as a result, you are going to reinstall a different racial group that you think belongs in that person's place more. That is the most unethical thing that you could possibly do, and it's disgusting. Because for everybody who's rebuttaling about all these examples of all these actors that they somehow come up with examples that it's justified if they play this role so we can do this, right? You're not volunteering your own characters to be race swapped. And that's the problem here. You only want other people race swapped, but you never want it to happen to you. People seem to have a problem with Aquaman now. I thought he did a phenomenal job, and he looked a lot closer to the source material from the comics than what Ariel looks like now with this Disney film. And I love that people reach to this degree, right? Because it's like people were saying that she's a fictional character. She's a sea creature. Yes, that's correct. A fictional character that has source content, an original look that people fell in love with, that is 34 years old, that you now, 34 years later, come 2023, want to change and the exact opposite image of what she would look like. No, nobody's going to go for that. That is racist. And the reason you did it is because you feel as though there's not enough representation. That's racism. Don't veil it under saying like it's diversity. You're just trying to profit off of the word diversity as you literally divide people. Because the truth is, there's nothing diverse about reaching into the Disney vault, 34 years later and saying, what Disney princess do we want to make black to profit off of the black families who feel marginalized and who feel put out?
Now talking about the point that he mentioned right now, profiting from the diversity of people, profiting from movies through representations, altering the characters from the source material is kind of being a thing in Marvel, DC, and a lot of Disney movies. Uh, like they want to break stereotypes. I understand you want to break stereotypes, but you can't change the old representations because Cinderella, in the time Cinderella was made, you change her to a businesswoman, but at the time, at the era, there was no businesswoman. So you got to understand that the era or the place that you're representing, you cannot fantasize everything. You cannot make everything a fucking zootopia for everyone. Okay, people are different, people have struggles. You have to make people understand, make people and children understand that there are struggles in life. Yes, every now and then I like to watch fantasies. I like to get out of the stressful life that I have, but at the end of the day we need to understand that yeah, there should be movies where there should be a little pinch of reality amongst all the fantasies. And I think this diversity agenda that's currently been motivated all around the world, especially with the new Resident Evil movie where there was an Indian guy playing Kennedy. That was pretty stupid in my opinion. So let's move on to let what more he said about stuff, and let's talk more about it.
For equality, that means we all have a level playing field and a chance to succeed. That does not mean that like you feel put out, so therefore somebody else needs to get dethroned so that you can be represented. And again, you're not volunteering this happened to Black Panther. You're not volunteering this happens to any of the black characters that you fell in love with over the years. None of them. In fact, if they magically made Black Panther white, you'd have a problem immediately. If they made a new Blade movie and he was white, you'd have a problem. People say, oh, fictional characters can't be altered. Black Panther is a fictional character. He is not based on a real human being with superpowers, okay? Fiction is fiction, right? So if you're going to use that argument, make it make sense. She's a sea creature. If you watch the source content, she turned into a human being. So don't use that as an argument because it's a cop out. Because the truth is, the same breath that you use to say that Ariel should be black because anybody can do that, and they're just trying to teach children that anybody can be whatever they want. This Zootopia mentality, okay, which is very toxic. You can't be whatever you want. Unfortunately, we all have different skills, we all have different skin color and different abilities, and that means we are different. We celebrate differences, not everybody being exactly the same and fitting into one box. She is a white girl with red hair, and that is okay. And you are a black girl. That is okay. You can exist in society as two separate things. And this inability to let this existence happen, I think, is what really causes racism. Because had you left Ariel alone, right, and you said, let's have an original story about the mer people in the Little Mermaid universe, nobody would have had a problem with it. Maybe a handful of actual racists would have had a problem with it, but the majority of dislikes that you would have gotten would not have been 1.1 million people who are vastly offended by the racist stunt that you pulled. And then it's compounded further because it's like you have guys like me who love Storm, right? Like, everybody's always talking they want a strong, independent woman. Not that fake shit like we're seeing with She-Hulk, where she's literally twerking, which objectifies women and devalues them, right? Which Disney claims to care so much about, but there she is twerking, right? Women aren't objects, but you do that to the She-Hulk, right? But in the same breath, you have Marvel in your back pocket. You could have given us an original Storm film. Storm. She's black, she's a woman, she's independent, she's strong, and she's badass, and pretty much every guy would have been on board with it, and some women too, because women like Storm as well. I mean, really, I grew up watching Storm as a really cool character on the 90s X-Men. Saw her in the X-Men films, and I really wanted to know more of that character. Never once was that touched on. Not a single person is asking for an original movie about her origins, about her story, nothing. That would have been more appropriate. On the DC side of things, getting into the story of Vixen, that would have been very cool. Nobody talks about these characters because they truly don't care about that. They don't want to spend millions investing in black people, just profiting off of the word diversity. And how they're doing it is very disingenuous, and it comes off as pandering when that's literally kind of what you're doing, right? You're uninstalling someone 34 years later, because if you truly cared about diversity, it wouldn't take you 34 years to make something diverse. That's true. I mean, look at how many black Disney princesses there are. Do you really think if they cared about you and they cared about diversity, it would have taken 34 years? No, they would have done it sooner if they really cared about you. It's a buzzword, it's a trend, and we're sick of the trend. We're sick of you deciding arbitrarily that you want change because now you realize there's a market for it and you can get money out of it. It's a nasty habit and it devalues race. It means that race is a costume to be worn so that you can profit, and you're not actually looking at the human beings behind that race. And that's where the problem lies, along with the other aspect of uninstalling one race to favor another. Those two things combined guaranteeingly will make sure that this movie fails. And again, if you don't trust me, the 1.1 million people told you, and it's going to grow. More and more people are going to hate this because this is a bad move. But you chose to go through it anyway because you anticipated that, like, for some reason, putting a blur filter over the dislikes, we're going to change the amount that you got, or we're going to change the amount of people that really don't like the concept of you literally saying that white girls don't need to exist in Little Mermaid. Instead, we're going to put little black girls there instead because anybody can be Little Mermaid and it's time they get represented. How many people, blah, blah, blah. All the excuses I see in my comment section. I've had more people attacking me because I'm interracially married, saying I don't love my people, as if we're like somehow in an avatar, connected in the tribe of Awa, connected my people. Like, I'm an American and I love all of the people in my country. And I love all of the people in the world. I'm not just like going to be loyal to black people just because we're black and racially bond with you over somebody else. That's stupid. That is literally racism, like racial superiority. I don't have that problem, right? I look at everybody as an equal human being. I judge you on the content of your character and who you are. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your creed. None of that. Who you are as a person matters. And when you instinctually show up with this entitled attitude to somebody else's franchise that they built, 34 years, man, and then you're going to come through and usurp it. I mean, she didn't even try to respectfully sing the song. She's all trying to divify it and Beyonce it. Nobody wants that. That is not part of your world. That is not how the song was sung. Okay? And people fell in love with these characters. I mean, really, it's not hard to figure out, and you're going to continue to fail so long as you go down that.
So yeah, whatever he said regarding uh, not taking from the source content, trying to gain favoritism from black people by improving more of black heroes and black content. uh, they are not trying to push actual black content because there are many superheroes and superwomen that were originally created from the source and had black representation, but they're not pushing that. Instead, they are trying to push content that are already available, and they're trying to improve diversity in them. They're not trying wanting to put in the work that's required to create a new fresh content. They're just trying to milk the old content again and again and again and again, and that's kind of shitty in my opinion. And I agree with most of the part that he said, except some part where he says that it's actually racism. I don't believe it's racism. I think it's just very scummy wolf to do, and they're just trying to be big scums, trying to profit off of people's emotions, people's feelings. And that's my take on this whole scenario. I believe if you really like the movie, then go for it. I don't mind if you really like the movie, but don't go just for the sake of black representation or stuff like that. Go if you like the content. Yeah, because we want to promote content, good content for films. We don't want films to be all based on agendas and motives. We want entertainment for entertainment, okay? So that's my take. Hope you like this video, found this video interesting, and hope you agree with all of my points. And we'll meet soon. Till then, peace.